If you're a movie person, Road to Perdition is where you may have first seen
Right
our
up my
next
alley.
guest. If you're a Teen Wolf fan, Tyler Hoechlin was Derek, and he was super dreamy. Welcome to MLB Central.
Was.
And it is very dreamy, I should say. Thanks for joining us.
I'm not happy about this.
Debo, you look a little bitter right now. You do. I mean,
Explain why.
Used to
Debo.
carrying this couch. I'm in trouble.
Let's talk about it, because all the acting you've done, Tyler, on your Twitter page, it says baseball player at heart. You had quite a career. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I played. I mean, I know myself more as a baseball player. I think when I see a baseball field, I feel more at home than anywhere else. But yeah, I started when I could walk and played through college, and then eventually hit that crossroads that most of the time I'd always picked baseball over acting, and then eventually went the other way. So
Talk about it, though. I mean, you played big-time college baseball.
Yeah.
Arizona State, Irvine. You got to have buddies sprinkled throughout the big leagues.
yeah, I got a bunch of buddies that are still there now, which is great. Ike Davis is still there. Joe Kelly, I grew up playing with since they were like 6 years old. Andrew Romine, Eric Sogard, Mike Leake, all those guys. I mean, that team at ASU was ridiculously stacked.
What would their scouting report be on you?
That's a good one.
Let's see.
Couldn't hit the break.
Over eager. Yeah, couldn't hit the breaking ball. Yeah, no, defense was, it's funny. I'm one of those guys, I don't like to go back and take BP. I like to go take fungos. Defense was my favorite part of the game, so.
yeah, that's the guy who couldn't hit.
Yeah, exactly.
He was in the stands.
No, actually, my first year at Irvine, we were playing at Reno, and I hit a home run in my first game, and I called Ike right away, and I was like, just letting you know I'm leading you in home runs. This will ever happen in my life. So yeah, I was definitely, I like to sprinkle the gaps. I like to drag and push and kind of play the small ball.
awesome.
So I was never a big power guy.
You're so dedicated to baseball that you actually turned down a role in Twilight. Is that right?
I did. That was my first year at Irvine. Yeah.
Because you were playing and you couldn't leave.
Yeah, it was. I think the offer came in like 2 weeks before the season was going to start, and they needed me for 6 weeks. And that year, it was actually the year following Irvine eliminating us when I was at ASU in Omaha. And so, like, we were preseason top 10 ranked again and supposed to go back to Omaha, and I was a starting second baseman. And I was just like, I can't do that to these other 39 guys.
I like where your heart's at.
I knew you'd like that story.
So yeah. But no regrets. I feel like this movie kind of ended up coming around because of that.
And what about Everybody Wants Some? Tell us about your character.
I play Glenn McReynolds, which, if you can't tell from the clip, is a very arrogant young man.
Awesome.
He's like that guy who's always been the best player no matter where he plays.
Is that a real stash?
That is a real stash.
Nice.
And if you don't believe it, it's on my passport, because I had to renew my passport when we were shooting this. So I've got that for 10 years. I am Glenn McReynolds on my passport. But yeah, he's never had a bad day in his life. It just gets better and better, and eventually that'll be a rude awakening for sure. But for now, he's just kind of taking it for all it's worth. So yeah.
Are you as competitive in real life as your character is?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes, that is the one.
You can tell.
The one.
You can?
Yeah, that's the one aspect.
Did you not
of
see
that I
him
get.
over there playing cornhole? Like he had the intense look on his face when he missed one. He was like, ah!
Once I realized it was actually showing like the result of what I was doing, I was like, oh, I actually have to zero in on this. Like, no, I'm gonna get crap for this back home. Yeah.
I want to ask you this because I read it before filming. Everybody Wants Some. The director had all you guys stay at his ranch in Austin.
He did.
What was that like?
It was awesome. I mean, I think, as a baseball guy, like, you miss the locker room, I think, more than anything, and the guys. And so going from something that's such a team environment to the world of acting, which can be very solitary sometimes because it's just like you trying to get the next job, you're not surrounded by that team atmosphere all the time. So we were staying literally in a bunkhouse. And so you would wake up and have breakfast. You would go to dance rehearsals, you go to baseball practice, you'd come back and do the script read, and then we'd do some more like research. We would play games. We'd play foosball and ping pong and all the games from like 1980. And then we'd do like a movie screening with Rick, and then we would do like a little discussion session afterwards, and then we'd all sit around a picnic table outside the bunkhouse and just kind of talk about the day and the script and the movie and things like that. So just being a part of like a group of like 11 other guys who were all in from the time you woke up to the time you went to bed every day, like that was the coolest part of that.
This movie's rated 91 on Rotten Tomatoes. You guys must have really built some chemistry doing that. Do you feel like that experience kind of made the cast gel together?
100%, yeah. Because I
It's
think
like a fraternity. All the guys are you partying. The coach says no partying, no girls. That didn't happen.
There's one woman in there.
There's one girl, Zoe Deutsch, and she is absolutely brilliant in the movie. She's so great. But it's like the funny thing that happened that I noticed was, it's one thing when you shoot a film and like everyone's staying at, even if it's the same hotel, everyone's got a different hotel room, and you're kind of like, you don't know who's putting in extra time. You don't know who's like, it's kind of like when you see a guy who goes to the cage after a bad day.
Are sports films your greatest interest, Tyler? Seems like it.
They're one of them, yeah. I think just because, especially like with this one, what I like about it is that there's not a ton of actual baseball in the movie. Because for me, like the drama of a game, it's hard to recreate it in a movie because it's scripted. So regardless of not knowing the outcome being the audience, it's still been written down and it's gonna happen. So for me, I'd rather watch a game. But this kind of stuff, like the dynamics between the players and the relationships and how sports kind of affect life, I think is so rarely discussed that people that are on the outside of it, that's one of my favorite compliments about this movie is people who say like, I'm not a sports person, I wasn't a jock, but like I get these people. Like that's cool. I like when you can kind of bring that world to people who aren't a part of it and be like, yeah, well, this is what it is. Like, we do it differently, but like we still, still go through all the same stuff. So it's kind of cool. So I do enjoy what sports can kind of, share with people.
You look like you have a sweet left-handed swing.
I was a lefty. My
who
dad
did
was
you
smart.
emulate? Who was your guy growing up as a kid?
It switched a couple times. Definitely tried Griffey.
Yes.
Definitely tried to do Griffey for a while, and then it was Bonds. And then I realized I was never going to hit that many home runs in my life. So I just started listening to some coaches and some scouts that were working with me, and they would kind of, keep like trying different things. But my swing changed all the time. My buddies will kill me at Irvine if I don't bring this up right now.
Bring it up.
I even tried, Gish, this is for you. I even tried my a split grip.
Oh,
so
God. That's rock bottom, America.
I definitely I did like a little like 1-inch gap because I was like, man, I really feel like more top hand with this. I was like, I'm gonna try this out. So yeah.
That's the knuckleball of hitters right there.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, if you're trying that, good thing you did acting, because I think we have. I know you were in Hall Pass as well.
Yeah.
I'm just bringing that up because I know they have a shot of you with your shirt off, and that's what we're really getting at. There we are, stacked.
This is where all D-Rose
okay
this is where all of his problems started today, right here. When he saw this, his whole attitude changed for the day. Usually a great guy, after he saw this picture, game over.
You were to Hall Pass for Applegate?
I did for that. Yeah, for that one. For were we shooting that? Atlanta? Yeah.
That's where I live.
We have those pictures. We also have pictures of promoting this movie. Must have been fun because we have pictures of you in Atlanta at Fenway.
We've had
You're all around.
We've had a good time. Yeah, we didn't. The thing that's we went there like a week before. Every place we went to, it was like a week before their opening day. So I was like, and the Fenway. I've never been to Fenway. Fenway's like the one like historic park that I still haven't been to. So I got to go see my buddy. I got to see Joe pitch this year. I told him I'll get out there and then finally put it on the list. But yeah, it's been a blast. I mean, it's like I said, the greatest group of guys. So to be able to kind of go around the baseball towns, it's been pretty fun.
During the commercial break, I asked Tyler, I was like, did you know that you were number 3 TV sexiest men in 2011? He's like, no, I didn't really. No. He didn't even know.
Look at D-Rose's face. Look at how bitter he is right now. Like, each comment, it rips at his heart.
That matters more than anything. You kidding me? Guy hit with a split grip. Who cares? He's number 3.
Somebody come give D-Rose a hug.
You guys were 1 and 2. How about that? I love it. Everybody wants some. You guys should see it if you have not. Tyler Hoechlin, thanks so much for joining us
Thank you for
on
having me.
MLB Central. Awesome.